Hi, you guys. It is Thursday, February 25th, 2016. My name is Doris, and this is the Knit and Purl Podcast, episode 85. So, welcome if you are new and have not watched before. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope that you find something of entertainment and entertainment and inspirational, and that you'll come back again. You can go over here and hit the subscribe button, go over here and hit that thumbs up, and leave a comment below, and I would thank you so much. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much. If you're watching on iTunes, please leave a review and a star rating, and I would thank you so much. And please subscribe so you can get notifications every week whenever a new podcast comes up. In social media, let me tell you about me. I am One Fine Cow on Ravelry and Twitter. I am One Fine Design, the number one, on Facebook and Etsy. And I am Doris M. Smith, all smooshed together and lowercase, on Instagram. Please go and find me and follow me, and I'll follow you back. Thank you so much. This podcast has a Ravelry group as well, which is the Knit and Purl podcast group. The link is in the show notes, which is at the show notes are at knitandpurl.net, and the Purl is Pearl. We have one new member this week, and it is Catherine Kirby, who is Catherine from PA. Thank you so much, Catherine, for joining us. And I went and looked who you were, and I'm very happy to have you in our group. Thank you for coming. And I wish I lived in Pennsylvania so I could go to your yarn store and join in on all the fun classes there. But I don't. I live far away. Birthday shout outs this week for the Ravelry group. There is no birthdays that I'm aware of, but if you don't share your birthday on Ravelry, and it was your birthday this past week, happy birthday! Happy birthday! One more little administrative, and then we'll get into the knitting. Well, no, not really. We'll get into the other part. We have the Ravelry group and the podcast group has a February-March knit along or crochet, which is a read along for Valentine's Day and Heart Health. I extended it through March. The rules for the the rules for the knit along is that you must be a member of the group to qualify for prizes. Entry is anything in shades of red. As many entries as items completed using at least 100 yards of yarn and posted by March 31st. Chatter is welcome and encouraged on that thread. The prize for the knit along is an Etsy gift card of $20. So knit in red and think about your loved ones and those that you know that have heart issues. Thank you for your participation. Story of the week and stash enhancement. So remember that yarn I was telling you about? I went on the internet again this week and I found it. I put in an order at redheart.com for a couple weeks ago, and then they said they couldn't complete my order. And then I went again, and I'm like, let me just put in 2 balls. I'm like, they probably can't do it. So I found it on Love Knitting, and I ordered 2 skeins, and they came. It came. I have it is the Red Heart Super Saver. Don't scream, those of you who don't like acrylic. But it is the artist print. I love this. I got this as like a donation thing, and I put it in my mitered square, and I love the way it knit up, and I wanted more. I have a project in mind already. So there's the information. It's 100% acrylic for those of you who don't know what Red Heart is, which I'm okay with. So I thought I would share with you my feelings on acrylic versus wool and nicer yarns. So when I first started knitting and crocheting, the only thing I had available to me and that at my price range was I usually bought Red Heart at Walmart. And I did okay with it. I knit a lot of projects out of Red Heart or Red Heart Super Saver. It's not as nice as this lovely yarn here, which is some hand spun of mine. And this is the Handbrake Cow, by the way, which is a pattern on Ravelry from Kay and Dan Jones. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard that they made it a free pattern now, but I'm not for sure. Awesome pattern, but an awesome yarn. This is fiber I got from Yarn Geek Fibers, and I spun it, and this is like, I'm the most proud of this spin and this product. I call it my royalty cowl, and I wore it today because I just needed a special little. And so I like nice yarn, and I use that. Well, most of the nice yarn that I use, I either got for surprise stash or I spin myself, because the price point, it's just a lot, and the people in my life that I knit for don't understand about the niceness of this, of the yarn that is wool and needs to be special cared for. So I am fine and happy to knit with acrylic yarn. I'm also fine and happy to knit with wool yarn. The thing about acrylic, and especially this, I noticed that it feels a little crunchy, but once it's washed, it softens up. And number two, you just have to be careful about the needles you use. You don't want to use like a wood needle or something that's sticky, that's, like a wood that's not finely waxed, that doesn't slide well, or plastic. Not a good match for this. Metal, my Addy Turbos are good for this. So I just wanted to share. I'm not afraid of acrylic, and I buy it regularly. If you watch my podcast for any length of time, you know that. But I like nicer yarn, but most times, I would love a good skein of some what is it? What is her name? Or the Homespun House. I would love some of her yarn. I would love some of Lisa's from what is it? Yarn? No, what is her name? I can't think of her name. Lisa from 90% Knitting. I can't remember her yarn name. Fiber Nymph. I know you guys were shouting at me. I would love some of her, but it's just spending that kind of money for... I just, at this point, can't see myself doing that. But I have some really nice stash that was surprise stash to me. But I'm fine with acrylic. I hope that doesn't turn any of you viewers off. But I like nice yarn too. It's just that it's not in my budget right now. Story of the week. I spent the first 3 days of the week doing a 3-day juice cleanse to get myself back on track. I feel a lot better, and I am focused on getting back on track, and my plan is to go to the gym tomorrow after work. Woo! And be excited about it. Not really, but yeah, I know that putting it all together, eating right and doing the exercise, I know the benefits, but sometimes it's really hard just to keep it all together. But this is my new start and I'm doing very well. So, kind of on that same note, the Health Pearl is a study that explains how protein keeps hunger at bay. So here is what the article looks like. There is a link in the show notes, and you can go and read it for yourself. I'm going to summarize that diets high in protein may be the best to keep your hunger in check. And the reason is because of and I already forgot how to pronounce it. The hunger hormone, the hormone that secretes into the stomach and stimulates your appetite is pronounced. It's spelled Ghrelin. Ghrelin. It's a hormone that makes you hungry, secretes into your stomach and gives you an appetite. Suppression of this hormone is one of the ways to lose your appetite and to begin to eat as you begin to eat and become satisfied. They did a study, and the researchers gave 16 people 3 different beverages, each with varying amounts of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. They took a blood sample before they drank the stuff, and then they did blood samples every 20 minutes for 6 hours to measure the ghrelin levels in each sample. They discovered that the interesting finds were that fats suppress ghrelin quite poorly. Also, proteins were the best suppressor of the hormone in terms of the depth of the duration of the suppression. So you eat proteins and it suppresses that hormone a lot longer than most anything. So it's important to get your proteins to help curb your appetite. The carbohydrates result was that it had strong ghrelin suppression at first, but then it came back with a vengeance, rebounded with a vengeance, and it made you even feel hungrier than you did before you even started. Fat did not do it at all. Carbohydrates, protein did. And the study likely means that a nightly bowl of ice cream is out. Anyway, if you're interested in reading the whole article, it's not that long. You can go to the show notes and click on the link. So shall we get into the knitting now? Excuse me. I have faux this week, as you will guess by the title of the show being a good knitting week. I have one faux that I can show and one faux that I can show you a picture of. So I'll start with the hand spun cowl is completed. This is then you can really see the red in this. Back here, and what you saw last week was this color, but I mean, I guess in either light, but it's in bright light, it's like a really beautiful red, but this is kind of what it looks like. It is a paid for pattern on Ravelry by me. The yarn I used is Cascade Yarns Baby Alpaca Chunky, which is 100% baby alpaca. I had 108 yards of this, which wasn't going to be enough to complete this hand spun cowl. So I also had some actual hand spun that I spun one of my first spins. It's Siri alpaca. I don't know the yardage in this. But anyway, it's been washed, blocked, and it's lovely. And I love it. I knit it on US 9's 5.5 millimeter, 24-inch circular, the Knit Picks Dreams. I started on the 16th and I finished it on the 22nd. This is my read along entry. And I love it. Let me put it on and show you. It won't go with the outfit, but oh well, doesn't matter. It's just, it lays so nice. I love it. I don't really like the kind of cows that come up like this, but with this pattern, if you do, you can modify. There's instructions on how to modify it to make it the way you like it. But I like my cows like this. So, you know, when it's cold, you can just do this and wrap it and, you know, tuck it in your coat to cover up your neck and keep you warm. But you can wear it down like I like wearing it like this because it's just more comfortable to me. And it still keeps me warm and comfortable. I wore this one most of the day because it just was comfortable. But y'all don't mind if I keep wearing this, do you? Even though it looks... I can't. Because it just doesn't go well. So that's my one finished object. And I also finished the Ricky hat, which is a free pattern on Ravelry by Sarah Young. I used... I have to get my picture up, sorry. I used some yarn, some acrylic. Loops and threads, Snuggly Wuggly, and is the colorway Doodle Dots. I use needles size US 4, and which is a 3.5, and US 7, which is a 4.5. My Addy Turbos 40-inch circulars, and I did a magic loop. I started it on the 1st of 15th, and the first of the 15th, January 15th, and I finished it September 23rd. Yes. So the reason I don't have it is because I sold it. I wanted to keep it to match my sweater, but I remembered somebody wanted me to knit them a hat. And so when I finished it, and then the girl came over that asked me, and I said, do you think this person would like this? And she said she would love it because she loves pink. So I sent it along. And here is the finished object. I put it on Instagram. And never mind, you can see that. Oh, Lord. Go back. Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening here. Here we go. There it is. The finished Ricky. Love that pattern. Love that hat. So those are two finished objects. So I have works in progress. I still have the Ron bias that's sitting on the desk right now, which is usually kept in my bag by Tangerine Designs. There's the link in the show notes. No, I didn't. I have to link that. I will do that. To her shop, which is Tangerine Designs on Etsy. So cute. So here is the Ron bias shawl, which is it's a scarf. It's a free pattern on Ravelry by Elizabeth Richard. I didn't do much on this, but I'm showing it. The yarn is Red Heart with Love. The color is Parade. The needles are just some straights that I had around. They're US 9s, 5.5 millimeter. And like I said, I didn't get very far. I wanted to complete 3 items, but this just didn't get done. But here's where I am. I showed you last week. I'm ready to finish it, but I wanted to get some more of this yarn. Of course, I am gonna put this in my wrap too, but Well, what else do I need to say about this yarn? This project? Nothing. I have one. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Tag down. Yeah, I wanted to finish this, but it'll be finished this coming week. And I will plan on getting back out my soft shoulder scarf cowl thingy after that's finished. So I only have one other object that I've been working on, and that is my Mitre Wrap, which is a free pattern or recipe on Ravelry by Maya Linuson, who is Shimmling on Instagram. On Instagram, on Ravelry, and on YouTube. She has a podcast as well. Love watching her podcast. But this is my version. Hers is that she made is in blues. Mine is Crazy Town in all the colors. See, this is mine. Okay, so I was working on this block last week. I finished this block. This is Encore, Plymouth Encore. This is an off-brand, like, it's like Red Heart Super Saver, but I think it's Smart Saver. And then I started this block last night, which is a Vanna's Choice something or other. I don't have the tag, but I remember it's a Vanna's Choice. So when I finish this block, I will have completed 14 blocks. I have 7 more blocks to finish on this side because I'm making mine more like a blanket wrap. Maya did her pattern. She did like 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She did 5 across 2 rows of 5, and then she shut off and did 4 more rows of 2. You can go to her pattern and look at it. Instead of me just going, So I'm doing 3 rows of 7, and then when I finish these rows, I will come off of this and do 12 more blocks going this way. And then, like I said last week, if I finish it and I don't like it as a wrap, I will just continue to add blocks as a blanket. I love this. It is so fun to do these miter blocks. These blocks, however, take a little bit longer than the sock blanket, mitered square sock blankets. Wow, words. I'm not editing though, so sorry guys. You're just getting me. So anyway, I started this project on January the 17th, and I believe this is going to be a long-term project. But you'll get to see crazy yarn in different blocks every week. There you go. This is how the yarn I purchased knits up. I think that is so pretty. So pretty. And squishy. I like it. You guys know, if you've been following me at all, that I love garter. And so this is garter heaven. That is all of my works in progress. No spinning this week. I did the knitting thing this week. So that moves us to Pinterest and Stumble. Pinterest, I found a pen on how to add beads to projects with a homemade bead needle. But mostly, I never knew how you added beads to your knitting. And this may not be the only way, but this is the way I'm anxious to try. Let me get to Pinterest. And, I'm late to the party. I was late to drinking the Kool-Aid on the miters, and now I'm late to knowing how to add beads. But now I know. Let me get to my pen. Okay. Here is the pen. And she uses, I'm going to get it open. And this is what the pen looks like. It's Knit Love. Oh, let me figure out how to hold this up. Okay. Oh, see what I did. No, go back. How to add beads to project. She uses a, here's a picture that she shows. She's a bread tie, a twisty tie, and takes the paper off and folds it in half, and then gives a picture tutorial. She takes the stitch where you want to add it, puts it, I don't know if I can explain it. Look, I can make it bigger. So you pick up the stitch, you use that, and you pull it up, and then, I'm not making sense, I'm sorry. You put your bead on it, with the wire, and then, ta-da! Awesome. I don't have to be afraid of adding beads anymore. So cool. Soon there will be beads in a project. Because okay, the title of my podcast is Knit and Purl because I make jewelry and play with beads. So soon I will be having a project adding beads. So there you go. Awesome. So if you're interested, if you are a newbie like me and don't know about adding beads, you can click on the link, go look at it yourself, and enjoy. The stumble this week is awesome. I found the title is called 5 Great Lessons. I'm not going to be able to read all five of them, but I encourage you for some light reading. 5 Great Lessons, to go and click on the link and look at it. It is awesome. So to try to find, I'm just going to read you the first one because it is poignant. It's important. Most important lesson: all people are significant. And the story goes, during my second month in nursing school, our professor gave us a pop quiz. I was a conscientious student and had breezed through the questions until I read the last one. What is the first name of the woman who cleans the school? Surely this was some kind of joke. I had seen the cleaning lady several times. She was tall, dark-haired, and in her 50s. But how would I know her name? I handed in my paper, leaving the last question blank. Just before class ended, one of the students asked if the last question would count towards our quiz grade. Absolutely, said the professor. In your careers, you will meet many people. All are significant. They deserve your attention and care, even if all you do is smile and say hello. The person who shared this says, I'll never forget that lesson. I also learned that her name was Dorothy. Very poignant. The second one, I'm just going to read you the titles. Picking Up in the Rain. The third important lesson, always remember those who serve you. The fourth one is Obstacle in Our Path. And the fifth one is Giving When It Counts. So I read these all, and they all had a good message. So I recommend that if you have time to do some light reading, click on the link, go over and read it. It'll bless your heart. It'll make you think. Anyway, there is also a link in the show notes to my Etsy store, and there will be a link, if you're watching YouTube, down below to the Ravelry group, show notes, and my Etsy store. So if you have a desire to go and support me, go look at my shop. If you find something pretty and you'd like to have, I would like to sell it to you. So anyway, thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you next time on the Knit and Purl podcast. Bye, you guys.